How it feels to play for Leeds is... Ooh.
I'd say emotional.
責任、誇り。
Enorme.
One word's tough.
Proud.
For me, amazing. That's it.
Een gepassioneerde club.
So one club city, and everywhere you go, you're made aware of that, and that's a really proud thing to be a part of.
Radost.
Being in Leeds, you can already feel it walking down the road.
Unique.
Cannot take two. Famille traditionnelle.
Just excited for the journey this year.
Redo.
Let it begin.
It's hard to put into words how we actually feel.
You get goosebumps every time.
Special, I'd say, yeah.
Home.
Elektrisch, ja.
Yeah, it's amazing. Every game.
I'll say Elland Road is probably the craziest stadium I've ever played at.
Historic.
I heard a lot of things about it, but I want to feel it on the pitch.
Just adrenaline.
Well, welcome to Matchday Live on LUTV. Mighty Whites are back at Elland Road for the first Premier League campaign game against Everton, and we're going to be bringing you all the action from around different parts of the ground in the build-up to kick-off. And I'm blessed to have Simon Grayson alongside us. Thoughts ahead of the game, mate?
Well, I think it's going to be a cracking atmosphere. I think a big thing is that we've got the first home game of the season here at Elland Road, under the lights rather than a lunchtime kick-off, which can be a little bit different, but full of excitement, anticipation, so all the emotions that you go through are all coming out tonight. It's been a long-awaited return for everybody back to the Premier League, but over this close season after promotion last year, so I don't think everybody can hold the breath for much longer, waiting for the kick-off time.
Ready to go. Well, obviously you've been in this situation yourself as a manager, Simon, several times. The build-up in pre-season, where you get to do your patterns of play, everything leads up to it. So what is the expectation levels from the coaching side of it for the players to go and execute tonight?
Well, I think what you want to try and do is make sure that what you've worked on you don't get away from. And I don't think that'll be an issue, because a lot of the players have played under Daniel last year, patterns of players. I think over pre-season you've seen Daniel have changed sort of the philosophies a little bit, in terms of we're quite gung-ho with fullbacks joining in. I think we do that tonight, and the rest of the season we might get punished because of the better quality players. But I think there'll be the roar of the crowd will want to see the tackles, the endeavour, the work rate, and hopefully people show the quality that we've got within the group, because there's been some really good signings, and yeah, tonight's a great opportunity to flourish and show your capabilities and get off to a positive start if possible.
We'll talk about them signs a little bit later on, because we're actually just near the tunnel here. The tunnel's through the door at the back. The manager office is behind us. I don't want to hear too much of what we're seeing. We might get in a little bit of trouble. But I think it's one of the perfect fixtures to kick off this campaign. Everton obviously struggled last season. I'm pleased we're not playing them at their new stadium.
Definitely.
Yeah, you agree with the fixture was nice?
Yeah, definitely. Look, if you go to a new stadium, Everton, it's a different atmosphere, isn't it? It's 2,000, 3,000 supporters instead of 36,000 fans supporting the home team here tonight. So I think it is a perfect fixture for us all. And look, we've certainly got to be respectful for the opposition. We've got a fantastic manager in David Moyes, and they've recruited a few players. Jack Grealish won to some big name on their recruitment this year. But it's all about what we try and do tonight. Make sure that we're nice and solid at the back, but still give it that endeavour and passion that our supporters demand.
Well, talking about the supporters and the fans, that's one big key factor that I think can play a massive part tonight. We've both done it under floodlights here at Elland Road. We know what it's like. The expectations of how big and important is the fans tonight?
Look, they play a part every season, whether it's in League One, the Championship or the Premier League. Travel in numbers, voices are heard unbelievably so. And that roar at kick-off tonight is just going to be like back of your hairs. We'll be standing up and you'll be wanting to be playing. I wish I was playing or managing tonight, because that's what it's all about. That's what you're in the game for. And it will be a two-way thing. Throughout the course of the season, the supporters are going to be vital, because the players will have to bounce off them when we're under a little bit of pressure. And the supporters have got to be patient if it's not quite going for the players as well. So I think that's what we say. This club is united all together as one. And as the saying goes, all marching on together.
And it's how many people can handle that expectation levels when they sign. I remember my first game here against Derby County in my debut. I was so nervous because there's a lot of obviously the fans, the pressure and things like that, and it took us a while to get going. And once I handled that pressure, so you know the new lads will be looking to get a good first touch, I would imagine.
Well, they will, and I found that as a manager here that you sign players and they had the unbelievable technical ability and come for some big clubs at times, but they couldn't handle the expectancy levels, and it can make or break players, and it has broke a lot of players, but it also makes people flourish and enjoy having that pressure. Why would you not want to be playing in front of a packed crowd tonight that are baying for blood from the opposition, and if it doesn't work out, maybe baying for blood from the home players as well at times, but that's just the passionate supporters, and that's a big attraction for a lot of players that come to this football club, is the fan base and what it brings with everything.
Well, there you have. You've heard it from down here at the pitch side, tunnel side, sorry. We'll be going out and doing a bit from the pitch side, so stay with us on Matchday Live.
Well, Dan, here we go. Premier League season, game 1. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's one that we've all been looking forward to a while. We had to wait that, extra couple of days to play, and what a night for it.
You know what a challenge lies ahead, don't you? A tough one, I think.
Yeah, really tough one. We spoke about in the week how strongly they finished towards the end of last season, and they want to keep continuing that form. They're a good side. I know added additions again in the summer. They're a solid side, and it's gonna be a tough game. And I think both teams are definitely looking forward to it tonight, and I think it'll be a great one for the neutrals as well.
Leeds fans have got used to seeing the side winning here over the last couple of seasons. Can you maintain that momentum? Can that momentum maybe even help?
Yeah, that's what we're going to try and take. The fans are going to play a big part of it tonight. I'm sure they'll be very excited, just like we are tonight, to open up the season on a Monday night is for us is brilliant. The fans will be straight behind us, and as I said, it's going to be massive for us. But yeah, we've got to try and take that momentum from last season, and take that confidence into this season.
Well, we're back with you on Matchday at LUTV in the build-up to the kick-off. We're now just in the tunnel entrance where the players arrive before they go into their dressing room for the big team talk with the manager. So now that we're here, Simon, we're coming down. New signings. What are your thoughts on the new signings?
Look, it's been imperative that we get these signings in. Obviously, the money's there available. A big attraction of coming to the football club. And I still think there's going to be plenty more coming to the football club. It's getting the right ones and waiting for the right opportunities for players. And the big attraction is Leeds United. And we've already heard from players that they've come to this football club purely from the size of the club and the expectancy level and the supporters. But there's been some good signings. I think when you look at the actual recruitment, looks like we've gone for a bit more size about us as well, which will be crucial, set pieces both for and against. So yeah, lots of different variations.
Yeah, I noticed that with the physicality actually. I think that's, like you say, that is one massive key aspect, because going into the Premier League, we know how physical it can be. I think we've learned from our mistakes in the past where we've got a few lightweight players, but the aerial dominance. I mean, I walked into the training ground, I saw it was like land of the giants.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You know from set players and the way things are going to be, how important that is.
Well, the thing about it is that we're probably not going to dominate the ball like we did in the Championship. So you can afford then to have sort of luxury players who are technically very good, but the Premier League, we've got to be really well organised, well structured, have good shape about us, but also set pieces are crucial. You saw Arsenal last year in the Premier League score so many goals from set pieces because you got the delivery, but you got the height and size of people want to attack the ball. So for and against, they are vital in this day and age of football.
Well, one of them, Calvert-Lewin, is signed 57 Premier League goals, turned down Champions League football to come and sign for Leeds United. How excited are you about seeing this man?
I think he's going to be a really good addition. Obviously, people will question sort of his fitness levels, but look, he's still played plenty of football over the last few years and got goals as well. So I think, like again, turning down different clubs to come here just shows you what the pull of Leeds United is as well. So he gives you something different to the other strikers that we've already got, and I think that's vital sometimes. You can't just go with the same type and have two or three of the same types. We've got nice variation out wide, through the middle, centre midfield players as well. So again, the big thing is that he wanted to come here, and that is sort of a big attraction, isn't it?
It certainly is. Now, another man, Metcha, up front. We've also had Sean Longstaff from my neck of the woods up in the northeast side. Another boy that's impressed me, Goodmanson, in pre-season. So who's impressed you pre-season so far?
Well, again, there's all them players. I think I mentioned Longstaff there, Premier League experience. He's sort of been there and done it at Newcastle, and also he's played with the pressure of playing at St James's on a regular basis. But I think when you look at the games from pre-season, the boy Stack has been very good. He's got a fantastic goal in Dublin against AC Milan. And again, these are lads that have only just been at the club for a few weeks now, so we're still not going to see the best of all of these probably for another 4 or 5 games. Hopefully, whoever Daniel picks tonight comes out the traps really really quickly, and it sort of gives us that opportunity to showcase what we're capable of doing. But the partnerships will develop, and understanding of players will develop over the course of the season, but hopefully it doesn't take too long.
I was about to say that, just coming in here, I've got to say, we're going to stand in front of the Championship sign of 2025 when we got promoted. I love this image here. I think it's absolutely superb. Brings back goosebumps from when we were celebrating here at Elland Road. Fantastic scenes.
Well, I think when you see all these things and all the other memorabilia from past,
special, isn't it?
It is special. It makes you feel just so connected. So many tunnels in the past have had no memorabilia or anything like that, but you're down here now and you're seeing so many memories of the good days and a few bad days as well, I'm sure. But brilliant memories.
I think that's what it is. People don't see behind the scenes, and sometimes obviously we do tours around the stadium to see this. This is also part of the culture of the football club. This is what you know as a manager, what you try to implicate and get. It's not just about what you do on the field, it's also everything that goes behind it, and I think these play a valuable part.
Yeah, definitely, and this is the first time I've been in this area since I left 10, 12 years ago, maybe, something like that, so I'm privileged to be down here as well. Yeah, it was slightly different when I was here, but these are great memories, and it makes you feel good, sort of the spring in your step. So, brilliant to see all these things.
Well, thank you for that. We're just outside the home team dressing room now, so we're going to have to keep it down. We're going to have to cut it short and sweet. We'll be back very soon on LUTV to bring you all the action.
I think it's because last season we expected to win every game.
Yes.
Now we're expected to be kind of the underdog. Can we use that to our favour this season?
We will see. The approach is definitely last season. Whenever there was a draw, it felt a bit like a loss for most of us. And this time around, you need a 1 point average per game in order to stay in this league. So it means every draw is normally a good result. That doesn't mean we go into the game and just want to draw it. We won't change our DNA. We will go wherever we go and against each and every opponent in order to win this game. But also to make sure, if we can't win it, then to make sure that we at least draw it and take something out of the game. So I think, yes, it's a bit different mindset, definitely, because it's not like the last season. I think from the last 30 games, we just lost 1, I think. So it will be more challenging during this season. But nevertheless, our approach and our DNA won't change. And perhaps we can also surprise a few people, and also know most of the pundits don't back us to stay in this league anyhow, so we also want to surprise them. And I think together with our fantastic supporters and with this group, we have a great spirit also within the group. If we're really on it and stick together also through the difficult and challenging times that I'm sure will come during the upcoming season, if we stick together and still stay believers even when there is a little setback, then I'm pretty sure we have also everything what is necessary in order to stay in this.
So tactically, a lot of the time we played 4-2-3-1, we had 70% possession. What the changes for this coming season? Because that won't be the same. We won't have all that possession.
Yes, that's right. But if you expect right now me to park the bus and to put the ball on the stand or over the stand into the next river anyhow, I will disappoint you, because my beliefs about football won't change. And my DNA is always, I want to play the game in the sense where I think the game should be played. I want to be as much as possible the protagonist on the pitch. I want to have the ball, so we're not just, once we started to play football, it's not just like we want to shift against the ball. We want to have the ball and want to enjoy what we do with the ball. We want to create chances, want to score goals, want to win football games, instead of just parking the bus and hoping for somehow a deflected strike or a deflected set piece or whatever. So our approach in general won't change that much, or at least not our beliefs, but not in a naive way. So we know that as a newly promoted side, it's not like you travel to the likes of Liverpool or Man City or Arsenal, and you dominate 70-80% possession. So we know that there will also be teams who have a special quality, and there will be periods in each and every game where we have to accept also their quality, and we need then in this period also a good structure. We need to be compact, we need to be rock solid against the ball, we need to have a good defending unit and also the physicality that is necessary. So we're not naive, we know that we have to adapt, of course, the style a little bit, but not just because we believe, okay, just parking the bus will help, just because we accept also the quality of the opponent, that we need also in some periods show some steel and some other ingredients, but we are aware of this, and also the signings went into this directions, and we are also prepared that we have to defend perhaps even a bit more, yes, and sometimes even a bit deeper than we were used to it in the last season, but it will never take away that we want to score goals and that we want to be made for attacking, and also that we want to have the ball. So a good balance, I think, is the key.
Well, Parag, here we are, the big day. Are you excited, nervous? What are you at the moment?
All of the above. I'm nervous, I'm anxious. I think, honestly, though, I'm very proud and grateful. You know, this has been a journey, and we have great leadership with Daniel, with Adam, with Robbie, and just a really great team. And, you know, we went through some challenging times when we initially took over, and last year was stressful, but we produced the best season that Leeds has ever had. And so I'm just really excited about the future and where we're going. Tonight, I'm just nervous and stressed.
And when you spoke to investors, when you wanted to encourage them,
Welcome back to Matchday Live on LUTV. Now, we've managed to walk down the tunnel here. We didn't have the music playing, marching on together. We did get goosebumps, however, and we've been warned, stay off the hallowed turf. So we can't go on the grass, Simon. What we are going to talk about, the build-up, the team that we are playing tonight, Everton, what are you expecting from them? Because they've been battling relegation the last couple of seasons. David Moyes came in and did a fantastic job towards the back end. What are you expecting?
Yeah, they're difficult to work out at Everton because they've sort of been on the periphery of relegation for a number of years, and obviously they've got the new stadium, they've got a bit more financial input into them now, but I think also there's not been many signings for them. A lot of players are out of contract and left the football club, and they've not really spent too much money. They've had a few injuries as well, so I think they'll be a club that goes on, they'll be sort of looking to improve their squad. But that's even better for us tonight, because I don't think they're going to be at full strength of what Moisey wants, without a shadow of doubt. But he'll put out a team that he knows will try and stifle us. I think they'll sit a little bit deeper than they probably would do if they're at home. But he's a cute cookie. Moisey's been around the block, and I love him to bits, to be fair. And I think he'll try and get us on the back foot and try and cause a little bit of anxiousness, because he knows that this place is going to be rocking at kick-off. So yeah, he'll have a plan. Let's hope that the players don't execute it.
So putting on your coaching cap, not for Hartlepool, but not for Leeds United, for Everton at this moment in time, you're David Moyes. What's the team talk just before half-time? Because you've mentioned the fans here, what they've got to do early doors. What would be your key messages to the players trying to nullify it at Elland Road?
I think ultimately you've got to make sure you don't concede in the early minutes. We saw so many times last year that the crowd and the players blew the opposition away, and games were finished in the first 10-15 minutes. Like, you're coming against Premier League players that are used to playing in front of big atmospheres and crowds, but it is still a special environment. The first game of the season, no matter where you're playing, is always difficult. I think he'll be saying to his players, when we get the possession of the ball back, try and take the sting out of it. Don't be going into a basketball match where all of a sudden you lose it and Leeds attack us. Keep it, try and get loads of passes in. And hopefully trying to get it to Jack Grealish if he starts, because he's a wonderful player on his day, and he's certainly a player that we're going to have to keep an eye on. But I think he'll be instrumental to the rest of the players that, look, keep the ball, because if you overturn it, Leeds will come after you. And you've got to be strong defensively and psychologically strong as well.
Well, we're just stepping into the dugout here, the technical area on the bench. So I'm bringing back some fond memories for me and for you, no doubt about it. So I'm going to just say now about what you're expecting from, or what would you like to see from Leeds United in the early part of the game, because we've talked about the crowd earlier on in the match day build-up. So what are you expecting, or what do you want the players to come out and do straight from the get-go?
I think the message that you try and get across to the players is you've got to play with your head as well as your heart, because your heart is going to be listening to 36,000 and the adrenaline going through the veins, and you'll want to run forward, you want to make crunching tackles, but you only have to miss time one, and this day and age it could lead to something a little bit worse than you're wanting to do. So think about what you're trying to do. Keep the ball, ask questions of the opposition. I think one thing that Daniel's done over the time since he's been here is he's always been a possession-based team, but I think especially in the first 5-10 minutes, I think the supporters will want the team to be playing in Everton's half and asking questions.
Percentage football rather than possession, get it in the right areas.
Yeah, and get it down the sides and get crosses in and test that Everton defence, whoever it's going to be, because no matter who you are as a human being, the first game of the season is always a nervous one, and when you're away from home and everybody in the world is watching, a lot of people, I'll say everybody in the world is a bit of an exaggeration, but there'll be many countries around the world that are watching this game tonight. Nobody wants to make a mistake the first game of the season, so ask questions in that half of the pitch, and then it might settle down and you can get into your real sort of high risk passing and moving. And when you look at the pitch tonight, it's beautiful.
It's
far better than when we used to play.
There's no excuses out there tonight. No. The other one I want to just chat about, the two new teams that have been promoted over the weekend played Burnley. They had a defeat. I was at Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. They had an incredible first win in the Premier League against West Ham. I saw how much they pressed. So Leeds United, we can take something huge from seeing what they did in that game against West Ham to what we need to try and replicate here against Everton.
Yeah, definitely. And Burnley will be thinking they wish they'd had a home game, because Turf Moor would have probably been not as hostile as the Stadium of Light or Elland Road here tonight. But it's always nice to have that first game. So I think, as we've mentioned before, our supporters will demand the players play on the front foot, press in the right areas, but again, play with your head as well as your heart. But it is going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. We're a few hours away from kick-off, and the excitement level is building for not just us two, but all around the crowd, all around the ground as well.
And the question that you hate getting asked, because I hate getting asked, match prediction.
Match prediction. Well, I never got one right last year and we got promoted, so maybe I get it wrong again tonight, but we still get promoted, or we win, not promoted, but we win a game. I think we'll win 2-0 tonight.
2-0. I like that. I've got 2-1 covered, so let's hope one of us or both of us are right in one way or another.
As long as it's home win.
Exactly.
If it's a scabby 1-0 win, we'll take that as well.
Absolutely. Now listen, thank you for joining us on the build-up to match day kick-off on LUTV. Thanks for watching.
How it feels to play for Leeds is
we are back. Premier League football returns to Elland Road. You've had all the build-up. Now get ready for the real deal. 2 years in the making, the Premier League return, and it provides the usual sights